Good morning, everybody. Christine Varconi here in the NBC4i Streaming Center, joined by Secretary of State Frank LaRose, because today is Election Day here in Ohio. It is the second Ohio primary, and we have three very important things on the ballot today. Good morning, Secretary of State. How are you?
Good morning, Christine. Happy Election Day.
Yes. All right. So we've got three big things on the ballot. Polls are open. They've been open for a half hour now. What do the people of Ohio need to know before they head out to the polls this morning?
So you're right that the polls opened 30 minutes ago. Over 3,000 polling locations open throughout the state, staffed by almost 30,000 of our fellow Ohioans who are out there giving the day for democracy, helping to make sure that you have that same secure and convenient election experience that Ohioans have come to expect. Here's what to remember. First of all, check voteohio.gov to make sure that you're going to the correct polling location. In some cases, the bipartisan county boards of elections have consolidated polling locations. That's more efficient to put more than one precinct under one roof like that, but you may not be going to your normal polling location. So just simply visit voteohio.gov, the official Ohio Secretary of State website, and check to make sure that you're going to the correct polling location. While you're there, you can actually see what's going to be on your ballot. You can see a copy of what we call the sample ballot. And so you'll know exactly what you're going to be voting on today. You can do a little bit of research ahead of that. And by the way, these are important contests. There's no such thing as an unimportant election. And this one certainly is no exception to that. Today, you're going to be voting on state representative candidates for the primary, state senator candidates for the primary, but also the state central committee. And that's one that flies below the radar sometimes, but it really shouldn't. It's a very important office. These are the men and women who serve on the governing body of the state Republican Party and the state Democratic Party. So these are the folks that set the trajectory of the party, choose who the party chairperson is going to be, set the budget, decide which candidates are going to get endorsed. And so do a little bit of research and make sure that you're voting for the people that you want to have leading your party going forward. And also remember to bring your ID. The easiest thing is to bring your state ID or driver's license. Every Ohio voter needs to authenticate their identity when they come to vote. The easiest thing is that state ID or driver's license. If you don't have it, or if you lost it, or if the dog ate it, there's a whole list of alternative documents that you can bring available right there at voteohio.gov. And also bring a smile. Thank those hardworking men and women who are out there running these polling locations. It's a long day they put in from 6:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. And so make sure to thank them for the important and patriotic work that they do.
Also, something important when you walk in, those people who are working the polls that day, they're going to ask you what ballot you would like to use. Can you kind of explain that process and why they're asking that? Because some people, maybe if it's their first time voting in a primary, they might be a little taken aback by it.
Yeah, sure. So the primary is a party contest. And so in Ohio, you declare your party affiliation based on which ballot you select when you come to vote in a primary. So you'll be asked, do you want a Republican Party ballot and it'll be all Republican candidates on that? Or do you want a Democratic Party ballot and it'll be all Democrats on that? There is also an option to take the issues only ballot, and that'll only be tax levies, local issues. But in many cases, there won't be local issues on the ballot. And so really the major contest is for people that choose to vote in a Republican ballot or vote a Democratic ballot. And again, once you do that, you're declaring your party affiliation for the future.
And can you change your mind on what ballot that you get from primary to primary?
Yeah, you can. And this has been a topic of conversation for some, because some people maybe didn't understand the law on this. In Ohio, you have that choice, and some people change parties. I'll give you an example. My mom is a lifelong Democrat, but she voted in the Republican primary in the spring because her son was on the ballot, right? And so she wanted to vote for me. So you can choose which party's ballot you want, but understand that when you choose a party ballot, you are declaring party affiliation and declaring yourself to be a member of that party.
And what does that mean, I guess? Does it really mean anything? Is it that all that important?
Well, it does have legal significance for some. In some cases, for example, there are certain appointments that are only available for Republicans or Democrats. And so if you want to be appointed to a state board or commission and you want to sit in a Democratic seat or a Republican seat, you've got to be mindful of, which party you've chosen when you go to vote in the primary. The other thing is, if you seek to be a candidate for office at some point in the future, you may want to be mindful of that, because again, it is a public record when you declare your party affiliation. And so if you come and vote in the Republican primary today, people will know that you are a Republican, or if you vote in the Democratic primary, people will know that you're a Democrat. So it's an important choice you make. And again, the reason for this is you are making a decision about the future of that party. And so we want to make sure that it's Republicans that are voting in Republican elections and Democrats that are voting in Democratic elections.
All right, Secretary of State Frank LaRose, we appreciate you taking the time as always. Every election morning, we love catching up with you. Anything else we need to know before we get going? I know you got a busy day.
Well, one last thing.
Yeah.
We know that Ohioans have a choice. Some people vote absentee by mail. Some people vote early in person. That's been going on for the last 4 weeks. If you requested an absentee ballot and that was mailed to you, you have to get it to the Board of Elections. At this point, it's too late to mail it. And we know that there are thousands of ballots out there sitting on people's kitchen tables that may have been requested and not yet returned. If it was going to be mailed, it had to be mailed by yesterday and be postmarked. And so at this point, you have to get it to your county Board of Elections. Now you can go inside and say hi, but the more convenient thing is to just drop it in the drop box that's there, but you've got to get it to the County Board of Elections before 7:30 tonight. So that's a reminder for those that have an absentee ballot and haven't returned it yet.
All right, that is a good reminder. Thank you so much, guys. Everything you need to know is on the Secretary of State's website. We've got it linked in the video, or excuse me, in the story down below. Or if you're watching on another medium or platform or something like that, you can go to NBC4i.com. We've changed everything over to be election day focused. Thank you so much, Secretary of State. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Christine. Take care.
Bye.